Good morning, gorgeous souls. I hope you're having a beautiful day, and it is Saturday here. So really enjoying having a bit of sunshine, and already been out for a paddleboard this morning. It's been beautiful, but I was really feeling into what I wanted to share, and something that I've moved through again in a cyclic pattern that can sometimes keep coming up, but in a slightly less ways, if that makes sense. And this is needing somebody else's approval. And it is one of the biggest factors when it comes to burnout, simply because anytime that we feel powerless, this is actually what drains our energy the most. And if you think about it, when we need somebody's approval, it means sometimes that we feel controlled, we may feel trapped, we may feel that we can't fully be ourselves. It can lead to feelings of depression, despair, anxiety. Hey Tisha, great to have you on, honey. It can lead to feeling that you can't fully express yourself, that you have to mold yourself to be who somebody else wants you to be. It can have us living within a state of hypervigilance, and certainly when this was entrained within your nervous system as a young child, because often we absolutely feel that we need our parents' approval in order to be loved, to be accepted, to be validated, to feel safe, to feel secure, all of those things. So our protection mechanism often falls one into that of the good girl or the pleaser. Many of you may resonate with that. I could put my hand up a million times for all of that. And it can really, really keep us stuck, because on one hand, we feel that we have to be what others want us to be, which creates a lot of pressure, a lot of anxiety, and a sense, Brené Brown even wrote about this, that anytime that we abandon ourselves to be what we think others need us to be, or to get a sense of belonging, hey Alicia, great to have you on too, honey, we actually experience inexplicable grief, because we're no longer being with ourselves. We're no longer belonging to ourselves, or feeling that we can really express the truth of who we actually are. And it can really, really drain our energy massively. And I noticed this playing out for myself. I've certainly had this a lot in intimate relationships, from being in previous DV for 14 years. It was absolutely so important for me to be what I thought that other person needed me to be in order to feel safe within that environment. So I was hyper vigilant. I was always switched on, and felt like I was walking on eggshells, or this sense of trepidation. Now that entrainment still can play out in my nervous system, and it's my job to be aware of it. It's not that my partner's controlling or any of those things, yet we can still have these mechanisms playing out in our system when we've had that entrainment, or that was our experience, certainly in our younger years. But any time that we've been in a predicament, perhaps you may have had a really difficult boss or colleague, or somebody that you felt particularly wary around, and when you're sensitive to energy, which is pretty much so many women, have an ultra sensitive nervous system, then we pick up on these cues, we pick up on these nuances that can show up when others are disapproving of us. It might be a look, they mightn't even say anything, but you get that sense from their energy. And of course, we can be the same with others as well. So it's our job to be aware. Am I giving this person full freedom, or am I trying to control them? Am I trying to have them behave in a particular way? Because we all do this as humans, unconsciously manipulate or guilt trip in order to get our own needs met. And the more conscious we become of these things within ourselves, the more we become safer for those around us, but also you'll be more aware of if that's playing out for you as well. But the biggest pattern within this is actually to free yourself from needing other people's approval. For that, I actually use the Byron Katie method, which is literally, I need their approval. Can I absolutely know that's true? How do I feel when I believe the thought I need their approval? And this is where I notice all of this stuff comes up for me. And Alicia, you'll be familiar with this as well too, honey. I feel trapped, I feel controlled, I feel miserable, I feel depressed, I feel anxious, I feel scared, I feel hypervigilant, I feel like I can't fully be myself, I feel stuck, I feel paralyzed. Often the shame response or the freeze response also can come up in our nervous system, or we might have that fight flight going on as well. And when both of those systems are locked on, our freeze response and our fight flight, if you're feeling resistant, if you're feeling blocked, if you feel that you can't speak, that's your freeze response coming on. And if you've got this whirring feeling like I need to escape, I need to get out of here, I just need to be by myself, the fight flight's on as well. When those two things are on, that is the brake and accelerator physiologically within the body, and that's also what creates burnout. So you can see how detrimental that can be. And then if I feel into how does it really feel if I truly didn't believe that thought, or if I didn't have that thought even just for a second, how do I feel? Oh my God, I can breathe again. I feel liberated. I feel powerful. I feel like I can totally be myself. I feel like I can honor what's right for me. I can speak up. I can share what it is that I need. So you can do this activity for yourself, or you may have found even a tiny bit of relief through me taking you through that this morning. But it is one of the most important factors, to be aware of, to be consciously aware of when is this playing out. Because again, like I said, many of us have had this sense of entrainment, certainly from our upbringing. We can certainly have done this, even in our own parenting as well. I certainly, have to put my hands up there and continually reinforce with my girls now, it's so okay for them to be who they are, and to continually guide them back to what's right for them and their heart. Because it's so important to feel that sense of freedom, to feel that sense of autonomy as a person, and to feel liberated in being who you fully are. You are an absolute gift in this world. You have a unique and vital role to play, and you cannot do that if you're feeling you have to diminish yourself, you have to hold yourself back, or you have to water yourself down in order to get other people's approval. So sending you all so much love. If this really resonates, you'd love to find out more about how perhaps I can help you or help you shift and change some of these things, please reach out to me. I also am about to launch, a little bit delayed with this. I needed to take a couple of pauses and really honour my own boundaries for myself as well over the last few weeks. But I am launching my 28-day mini Thrive program as well, which is where you get the basic foundations. It's completely different to my 12-week Thrive program, which is a very high level of support and a very high level of stepping you through the processes. The 28-day still delivers the basics though of what you'd actually really need to heal burnout and build a foundational place for you to build upon. So if either of those interest you, or you'd love to find out more, please send me a DM. But otherwise, have an amazing rest of your day. Sending so much love from my heart to yours, and truly give yourself permission to feel free within yourself. It liberates so much energy. I've done that for myself again, and I cannot tell you the amount of difference, exhilaration, joy, happiness that comes from doing this inner work for ourselves and really setting ourselves free. It's so powerful, and it's such important work. So have an amazing rest of your day. Bye for now.